everyone, so today I, SAKHUJA and Nikita will be telling you about the various concepts under biological identification of the suspects. So firstly, we'll have to understand what is forensic. Forensic has come from a word forensis that means by, of or in the forum. Forum, what is forum? Forum is a platform where the problems were discussed. It was a public prosecution where all the problems of the people were being discussed. So later on, as the crime increases, therefore the need for different branches in forensic sciences emerges. Forensic psychology is one of them in which the legal and the criminal matters are being discussed. Forensic psychologists study the criminals and the patterns of the crime they have performed. According to that, they make their personality traits analysis as well as they help in criminal profiling. It's very important to identify the suspects. We have different techniques to identify the suspects like narco analysis, we have lie detection, DNA analysis and so on and so forth. Today we'll be discussing about the biological identification of the suspect by using various techniques like biometric identification, iris scanning technique, fingerprinting technique, data analysis and composite identification.
Biometric identification. The government has long tried to identify people based on their biological characteristics. For example, bumps on their heads to the ridges of their fingers. All in the recent trends of identification involves the use of iris recognition and the voice recognition systems. All the biometric systems are having high resolution cameras which are used to identify and image some parts of human body, as well as the computers are used to recognize and sorting the software for the specific type of identification. There are various biometric recognitions that are used for the human body such as facial and hand recognition, iris and retina, software and scanning device, as well as the fingerprints.
Firstly, we'll be talking about iris patterns. Iris patterns are unique. No two people have the same iris patterns. According to Lerner in 2000, the patterns are stable throughout the life and only change in highly predictable manner as the pupil opens and closes.
Fingerprints. No two fingerprints of two individuals are identical in nature. The fingerprints are not dependent on the age, size, or gender or the race. The identifiable factors of the fingerprints are called the ridges of our fingers. From birth to death, the person's fingerprints remain same. The hands and the fingers might grow in their size, but the ridge characteristics remain same during our whole course of time. Fingerprints fall into the case of three categories. There are loop patterns, roll patterns and arc patterns.
Second one is digital fingerprinting. In digital fingerprinting, an individual places a finger on an optical scanner which creates and saves the digitized image of the person's fingerprints. So firstly, loop patterns, it must have one or more ridges that enter from one side of the print, recurved and exit from the same side. The second one is vole pattern that consists of four groupings. First, the plain vole, central pocket vole, double loop and the accidental vole. Central pocket loop and the double loop vole refers to the loop occurring inside the voles. Any pattern that is not covered by one of the categories or is the combination of the two patterns is called the accidental vole. The third one is the arc patterns. Arc patterns are neither plain or tinted and it is found in 5% of the population. The plain arc is formed by friction ridges entering from one side of the print and exiting to the opposite side, rising to the peak in the center of the ridge to form a hill-like pattern.
DNA analysis. DNA refers to deoxyribose nucleic acid. DNA carries all our hereditary information governing everything from our eye color to the length of a human body. Forensic scientists use the DNA that are available or found at the crime scene to the DNA sample taken from the suspect. Also in forensic psychology, CODIS, Combined DNA Index System, is used for DNA analysis. It is a computer network that connects the DNA analysis laboratories at local, state and the national level.
The fourth one is composite identification. Only way to identify the suspect is to translate a verbal description into something. Police and media can use it easily. Elaborate method of identification is available through the services of artists, computers and kits and interchangeable facial expressions. This flowchart is showing the process of generating a suspect's composite picture and around history for use of patrol officers. First of all, its description. The second one is computer generated image. The third one is computer excluded, and the sixth one is picture and history discriminated to patrol police.